Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. Ladies and gentlemen, this is lecture number 75 of physics, and today we are gonna start the exercise of topic number 12. And we are diving in the first section, which contains multiple choice questions. There are four answers at the end of each section, and we have to select only one, the correct one. Let us start the first MCQ. According to the simple kinetic theory, how is heat transferred from the hot end of a glass rod to the cold end? The molecules from the hot end doing what? A option is move to the cold end. This doesn't make any sense because in conduction the material medium is not transferring by itself, and this part is saying move to the cold end. The second option is vibrate more and pass on the energy to the neighboring molecules. Yes, this is absolutely the correct answer, and let us encircle it. But we have to study more options of this. Although we know that those options are absolutely false, but let us see what they are saying. The molecules from the hot end send out infrared radiation to the cold end. Now, radiation is another topic and conduction is another topic. So, no involvement of radiation inside the conduction. So, this option is also not correct. Now, let's turn our focus to option number D, move from place to place, collide with the colder molecules and pass on energy to them. It is also not correct because it is not moving from place to place. It vibrates around its mean position on its place and jolting the neighboring uh, atoms and transferring the value. So B option is absolutely the correct option. Let us focus on second. Woolen clothing is effective in keeping us warm because number A option, the air trapped in the wool acts as an insulator. Yes, this is the correct option because the air trapped in the wool air acts as an insulator. So remember, we also discussed this in the uh, theoretical portion. Now let us talk about the third question. In a hot water tank, the heating element should be placed at the bottom because number A, conduction cannot take place when the heater is at the top of the tank. No, it is not correct. It doesn't make any sense because conduction will take place, but slower process will be there. The B option is saying the heated water will rise. So far, so good. And form a convection current. Yes, this is the absolutely correct answer, that when the heating element is placed at the bottom, the water at that portion becomes hotter, and as a result uh, becomes less denser and they rise, and similarly the convection current takes place. Now the fourth question is saying in a vacuum flask the vacuum prevents heat transfer by radiation only. Not. This is not correct answer. Conduction only? No. Convection only? No. Conduction and convection? Yes. It is absolutely correct option. The option is D. Conduction and convection. And we discussed that in greater detail. So now let us turn our focus to question number 5. There are 4 options given to this as well. I will show that to you in a moment. In the following experiment setup, equal volumes of hot water were poured into the containers, and the temperatures of both containers and contents were the same. After an hour, the temperature of container P was found to be lower. Remember, after an hour, the temperature of container P was found to be lower than that of container Q. So, of this container, the temperature is lower, and of this container, the temperature is high after an hour. What does it say? So, this shows that P is a better conductor of better dash, not conductor, better dash of heat than Q. So let us observe the option and we will discuss these in detail. So we are saying that shows that B is a better. No, it doesn't make any sense. This is not the correct option. Absorber, no, it is also not. The third option is correct because it is a good radiator of heat than Q. So this is radiating the heat, and as a result the temperature is becoming low, and of Q is high. So the C option in this case is correct. For more detail, you can see my previous lectures in which we studied these topics in greater details. Okay, now we are turning our focus to section B, and there is question number 1 and A part. State the 3 ways by which heat may be transferred. Which of the 3 does not require a material medium for the transmission of heat? The 3 ways in which heat can be transferred are: number 1, conduction; number 2, convection; And number third is the radiation. And we discussed these were the main topics of the 12 number topic. So these are the three. The first two need medium, but the third one doesn't require any medium. So I am writing it here that radiation does not require any medium for heat transfer. As we discussed that the radiation coming out from the sun in the form of electromagnetic waves can pass from the space, and in the space there is no air, it is totally a vacuum. So it means that if it is passing through the space, it doesn't require any material medium, and that is the answer. The second part is saying describe the experiment to distinguish between good and bad conductors of heat. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is that Engen house device in which there are rod of the same dimension and of different material. You are pouring a hot water inside this uh, device, and you have to wax these you have to wax these let me write it with the different color so that you understand that we are waxing all these rods uh, evenly. You have to consider that it will be evenly. The first one is of copper. This is copper. The second one is iron. The third one is of uh, glass. Let me write it as wood. And the fourth one is of glass. When we pour water inside this Ingen house tub, then we will observe that heat will transfer very fast through this copper rod. And let me make it red so it will come, for example, tell here. And iron will be a bit lesser than this one, and then wood will be a very less one, and glass also will be in the smaller portion. So from this experiment we can conclude that copper is a good conductor of heat while wood is a good insulator or poor conductor of heat. We discuss this in greater detail. If you need more detail, you can go to my previous lectures, find this experiment, and then understand. But I explained it in this particular fashion so you can learn it here. Okay, that was the second part. Now I am coming toward the C part. Metal are good conductors of heat, whereas wood is a bad conductor of heat, that is an insulator. Discuss the above statement with reference to the mechanism of heat transferred in solids. Remember that if there is a solid bar or whatever, there are atoms or molecules, and I am taking only one row, so it is vibrating like this, and they are jolting the neighboring molecule and transferring some of its kinetic energy to this one as well, and as a result the second molecules also start vibrating, and in this way it transfer heat to it, and this process is continue till the heat reaches to the cold end. So that was the mechanism of how heat is transferred from hot end to the cold end. And we are saying that metals are good conductors of heat, whereas wood is a bad conductor of heat. So we are saying that in metals the electrons are not that much tightly bound to the nucleus, so they can be excited very easily from its shell and will get out from the effect of the nucleus, and it will become a free electron. So then it is free to vibrate as in this case, while in wood the electrons are very tightly bound to the nucleus, and it can be excited from its shell by a very huge force. So there are no free electrons in the wood, so as a result they will not vibrate because they are under the effects of the nucleus, so it will not move out, and as a result it will not be able to vibrate freely, and it will not shift energy from one place to another place. So that was the whole story about the C part. If you want to write it in your notes, you can pause the video, write a sentence. For me, writing it here will be the wastage of time. You are having the facility to stop, pause the video, and then write something, then play it, and then pause the video. I am going to question number 2. Okay, the first question was related to the conduction. Now, the second question in A part, they are saying that what is convection? Convection is also a way for convection is also a way for transferring heat, but it doesn't require any it is moving the medium with itself. The method of transferring heat transferring heat and with the movement of medium particles. Ladies and gentlemen, we discussed that if we are having a flask and there is water and we put in this potassium permanganate, which is of pink color, so pinkish, like this. So we are putting these crystals of potassium permanganate and we are also giving heat to this by Bunsen burner. So after some time the crystal will move upward and on this direction as well, and this will create the convection current, and after some time the whole of the flask will be of the color of that potassium permanganate. So it means that the particles, the molecules of water is moving physically from the bottom of the flask to the top of the flask. Why? Because those molecules are coming less denser and as a result they are moving in upward direction and transferring the heat to the molecules of water in the upper portion, which is this one, and as a result the molecules at the top become heavy and then they are coming down. Again they are getting kinetic energy from the Bunsen burner heat and that is moving, and this constitute the current, convection current. Uh, the second part of this question is saying that what we will do, they are saying describe an experiment to show convection currents in air. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember, there was a glass box and there were two chimneys and there was smoldering paper which is producing smoke. So through this chimney the smoke particle is going, and here we are having a light source, and you consider that this is the light source, so that we can visualize these particle of the smoke. And it is, this is the inlet and this is the outlet. So in this chamber we can see that the smoke particles are moving from this direction, and then it is coming in this direction, and then it is going out this. So it means that convection current is set up in the glass box, and this means that the medium particles are moving itself from one chimney to another chimney. So that means that a convection current is produced, and this phenomena is showing convection current in air. Now the C part of this question is saying, explain why the sea breeze blows from the sea towards the land during the day, and the land breeze blows from the land towards the sea in the night. Ladies and gentlemen, we discussed that this is the land and there is a sea. At daytime, when there is sun, so the radiation is coming from the sun is absorbed by this soil, and as a result the soil becomes hotter and they are emitting ultraviolet radiation, and the air around it becomes less denser, so it moves in upward direction. Here this moves in upward direction. Now I am making this to be the vacuum and I deleted it. As compared to the earth, the water is less hotter, and to complete this vacuum created by the earth, air from the sea blows towards the earth, and in this way the daytime creates a convection current. But on the other side, if we are taking this is earth and this is the seawater, so at the night time the earth is comparatively colder than the water, the seawater. Seawater is hotter, so it is creating a less dense air molecules above it, which is moving in upward direction, and that is the converse of that daytime. So now when it is moving upward, so I am doing what? I am removing this because it moves upward. Now, from the colder surface of the earth will move, the air particle will move in this direction to fulfill that area. So that is why the convection current at night is totally the converse of the convection current at daytime. In daytime, it is moving in one direction, which is this, and at night time, this is moving to the other direction. So we discussed that, and if you need more information on this topic, uh, then you can go to my previous lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, next is question number 3, but I have to stop it here because the time doesn't allow me to do more question. That is also a big question in which we have to perform different experiment, then it will get longer. So tomorrow's are very important questions are coming. These 2 or 3 questions were comparatively easy, but tomorrow more harder questions are coming and very interesting questions are coming on your way. So if you want to be with me in that lecture, if you haven't subscribed it and you are new to my channel, then welcome and subscribe it and press the bell icon so that whenever I upload the video, then you will be the first person to be notified and you will not miss my lecture. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for your time. Allah Hafiz.